I proved it. Condensed or rarefied, pitch will solve my problem. The bitumen that blights our swamps is bottomless. To bind the bricks and waterproof the walls, we'll scoop the mastic from those black puddles. Dip out the naphtha we need to feed the steady flames for furnaces.
You mean the tar pits? Black puddles, bottomless pits of abomination, stinking sludge of desolation, burning mud is Satan's art.
Bane, perhaps. Not black magic. No god would leave a miracle to me. It's by neglected law of nature that I'll superheat my kilns.
It would be the last straw of grievances to pollute these heathens with the night soil of hell.
And their tune will change when they understand. It took me a whole tree of cedar logs with my lungs for bellows to transmute this pointed bit of clay. But with pitch on fire day and night, we'll petrify all the bricks we can mold without even waiting for them to dry. Isn't it you who's always warning me that God's weather will wear away the works of sun-dried earth? But with walls, all sheathed with glittering man-made stone, won't stand to perish like our flesh, nor be worn to dust by wind, or reduced to mud by rain. If we can coin immortal time, the future's labors will be light.
These laborers don't look beyond their week.
They shall sleep while fire makes my stone. Let them have the day in bed you say they need every week. Take credit for that indulgence. You'll reconcile them yet.
Reconcile us all to hell. Already these sullen worms can see nothing but sarcastic pride in your monument to the gods. If furthermore you make them traffic in devil's dung and Satan's piss, you'll turn them all into a frantic colony of vipers. Forever worse by far, you'll bring down the curse of Adonai on us all. Against him an enameled tower endures no longer than a harlot's image pressed in sand. Can glossy facades repel a plague of locusts? Can the caulking of cracks keep out a rain of blood?
You wandering sons of Shem, carry your tabernacles with you. You'll never understand the love of a fixed hearth that governs the nations of Ham. Their gods call for cities.
But a bore invention. You can't rub this people's noses in the jakes of hell.
I'll not be the scourge of your God any more than theirs. To you, truth is so clear, it oversimplifies the web. Justice isn't economic only. You should respect all kinds of charity. Next month, the equinox will fix our common feast of feast. The first new year of the second pole star. The covenant that Earth will become a city of one speech, one clock, one calendar, but of all the arts. In the end, my public works will earn the public's praises.
The end will come too soon if you refuse to pay attention. The public will celebrate your new year with a vengeance. Some hokum's afoot in the temple already. Crush it in the egg.
Ah, my privy council.
The summons from your Lugalissimus anticipated my petition for an audience.
You know perfectly well no one needs a petition to see me. Let alone my people's high priest. Day and night my doors invite unguarded. I may be stingy on holidays, but I'm always generous of ear. Is your heart cowed by some anxiety?
The Queen's compliments with a gift woven by her hand. A prayer rug she declares to bend your knee upon.
A riddle tapestry. She knows my taste in 2 dimensions. I marvel at the woven stitches woven with the perpendicular stitches of a loom. I hope her droll purpose lightened the work. Here, Take in return this adamantine jewel. Tell her it's a stylus for a signature in clay.
You're putting in his hands the tool for writing.
Oh, don't worry. I know how to make its mate. There was a time when I got many presents from a grateful city.
In a pinch of emergency, the wise optimates of Uruk elected to hand you the rod and the ring. We remain indebted, although we are obliged to oppose your innovations.
Yes, you are not enthusiastic. Your religion is too old.
It does not run its course. But I am no enemy of yours, as I'm told you are advised. Have I not contracted the labor for piling up our tower?
Our tower? Since when, this politic change of heart? Why does he so suddenly clothe necessity with virtue?
He's beginning to pretend. That means they've been busier than I thought.
The right hand of peace, city fathers, grand masters of the guild. I'd like to have your counsel in all our trades. Now that our architecture's high enough to catch the eye, it needs the skills of potters. Can you mix these signatures into clay?
He hopes to win over posterity with gaudy images.
The optimates and I agree that all of the crafts shall heed your calls. Furthermore, in accordance with our decision to cooperate in high ambition for the city of Inanna, we shall adjust our almanac to your equinox, keeping what we can of ancient measures handed down from heaven. It is devoutly to be hoped that my priestly compromises will be forgiven, so long as we maintain those forms most dear to our people.
I think you're driving at something I won't like.
Sir, we plead only for the way to harmonize.
These gentlemen mean to...
Oh, let them speak.
Resolve all discord by show of sacrificial contest.
As mathematician, I have come to see the reason behind your duodecimal scheme. With some calculation, I still could fix the dates for planting, but Gijax, when it dawns on the people that after the new year has begun, you'll be abolishing their month of Epac, with which Father Enlil gave their city when time began. Why, sir, sooner or later.
I'm sure you'll find that it's sooner.
There'll be riot. An end to my management unless you act right now.
Every year they'll have a 5-day feast. More frequent revelry. No long wait for re-elections. Your blessed calendar will be true to sun. It's he that makes Euphrates rise. You should pray accordingly.
None old enough to swing aside and forget the 13th moon given Inanna by Father Enlil. The people are maddened enough by a bachelor for a king. Strife and tumult won't serve the gods. This temple thrives on peace, and the temple is the state.
What act are you implanting on my stateless will?
Why first, withhold this intercalary decree, at least until the new year has begun. It's time enough when the people have tired of their pleasures, after you have pleased them most by winning the rod and the ring from their champion. Your power to alter the city's tradition will be recognized and cheered if he has been worthy of the queen before you strike him down.
I told you I want no puppet putting me to the test. I won't abuse your law with play acting. Otherwise, I agree in advance to any suitor you put forward.
Gentlemen, I speak of nothing more than the king's re-inauguration. It is, after all, the month of Epac which abolishes our sins. During the feast, you will lie in undiminished royalty, like a god withdrawn, while the lord of misrule struts and boasts. Then, when the purple's been stained with dissipation, come out of your hiding and recapitulate your fame by cutting short the mockery.
Idiocy, I suppose, will awaken my bloodlust to simply kill the pretender who's trying to kill me first. But I warn you, I will not accept, for sake of protocol, some innocent fool deceived by adulation. I won't murder a public.
Gilgamesh, don't tempt fate. Better make-believe than real surprise. There's treachery in the trappings of their ceremony.
Look, a decent stranger, so elated by a few days of royal emoluments and perquisites, why, he'll fight to keep them.
Make him tell you who's his pick already.
My temple hunters, tracking lions up into Aram on the rivers, venturing beyond sight of smoke from hearth or altar, have ventured upon the wild man known as Enkidu in legend.
Enkidu? By chance, eh? Just stumbled upon him? It must have been a right cool search, beating all the bushes of Akade. By accident, they enlist the abominable Windman, who abhors the faintest scent of featherless bipeds.
That horned and hairy son of Ham lives with the beasts, speaks their lore, judges all their cases.
I've heard tales of Enkidu. Never to believe. He instructs lions, outruns the cheetah, and protects the oryx.
And full of the hot red life that gods and mortals love to smell. Blood power bound to be expended. No challenge to you, of course, in a duel of human skill. But alas, capturing him will require more force than the temple has.
I myself will fetch him.
Absolutely forbidden.
Not the king, against our religion.
It would defeat the purpose.
Without you on hand, we couldn't keep the people at work for even 3 days.
It's conspiracy, playing upon your lesser pride.
I forgot. You go, Norkid. And, Reverend Sir, you must go with him as spokesperson for the law. I promise that Eber will not usurp your crozier. Yet, the name of Enkidu is something to bite on. Fast as a javelin, but hard as an axe. Is it true he can uproot an oak in anger? With the rector out of town, I can spare a few of your men. Pick volunteers who aren't half-cocked, string-happy heroes. They'll bring in Enkidu fresh and unscathed.
I'm the very understudy of Gilgamesh himself. But how in the name of Mazda am I supposed to subdue some troglodytic aborigine living at the end of a rainbow with superhuman senses and in league with all the fauna? I'll have to crease him with an arrow first.
Oh no. The victim must not be either pained nor drugged.
Then use the surest lure. Take the woman with you.
Woman?
Lil Amen.
The queen, she can't leave the temple. Insult to Inanna. She won't go outside.
I so decree. No further discussion. Enkidu may hate mankind, but she'll have an opposite effect. Have her open her robe. You can catch them in the net together.
With open eyes, you walk right into the trap of this hoodwinking whoremonger.
Dear sir, it's not I that offered the queen. My hands are clean. They toil but for love.
Ever, my old friend, there comes a time when one quick stroke should cut the knot. With both of them absent from their altar, there will be no one here to stampede the herd before I top off my present work. You see, I'm sufficiently suspicious. No, don't let the rector outnumber you with his glee men. No more than 2 or 3 as guards. Any trouble, I trust you'll keep it diplomatic.
Let your grace put a stop to her sacrilege. You hardly lift a hand.
Call them off tonight. We'll die before we let her go.
No. There's no cause to waste your death. The catastrophe is his. Suddenly an old oracle is about to be understood.
The gods will turn on us in unison if Gilgamesh is allowed to be dragged into the wilderness and ravaged by a bestial foundling.
Who will ever stop the winds of sleepless mountain bull? Or a pontiff gives him a lead paw of the dust.
You fools! Is it for laymen to interpret prodigy? To judge the evil destined for a good to follow? Your piety dwells too much on custom. The fall of Gilgamesh will be accomplished if we can merely endure the last vicissitude of his regime. I tell you, the tablets of fate are about to be understood. Meanwhile, find no fault with my tolerance of this expedition. It's I, the ladies' dancer, who have suffered the most. And it's I, the lawkeeper, who will bring down the law upon this tyrant! Meanwhile, some repossess this miscalculated monument as our city's bond to the skies. It's the will of the gods that Gilgamesh should come to us and erect this ladder to heaven. And on the nuptial dais in the firmament, my sisters frankincense and myrrh will smell all the sweeter to our Lord.
It come to you in matters of divinity, even when no precedent is found. But can Enkidu reduce our taxes?
In any case, how can we be sure he'll win the rod and ring? People whisper that Gilgamesh is 2/3 god.
Aye, but the 2/3 can't save the 1/3 mortal part. Enkidu was sent us by Inanna. When he's seen, there'll be no doubt of the issue. You can rest assured that he's stronger and quicker by more than half the stories claim.
Well, then we should prime the people to welcome their Redeemer. Old and go young with expectation.
No. Rejoicing must be disguised in mummery. Let the jubilation seem sarcastic. The king of the beasts, they may acclaim him, decked in purple, riding backwards on his ass. But interloping vizier never ceases to probe the pus of hatred that swells in my liver. His spies and provocateurs are still to be feared. And I tell you, if he incites the Northmen to forestall us, you'll die with feathers sticking out of your lungs. But may tigers join Euphrates, I don't scatter his bones and stamp out all of his children like isolated ants!
Exalted should be the sacred fool who laughs when we mock him,
That he
may leap for the hand in our throat.
Happy shall be the king of Epac.
To sow his seeds like the stars of the sky. Blessed shall be the line of the steppe, for he lays low the raging mountain full.
Now to convince the virgin queen that Enlil's law is broad enough to sanction such a reversal. Gilgamesh shall never have her. Enkidu is no lover for her heart. Once he's unstitched that seam that's forbidden to her brother and confessor, once she is our mistress again, she will know the worth of her one true minister. Meanwhile, let her scorn this gauge, but an absurd talisman, the iso-recto-tetrahedron. The fourth facet wouldn't be so bad if it didn't form the star of Eber. Once again, we'll all bow to the star of Inanna. Salt indeed. By the good Lord, all salt his tears!